Alright everyone, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. I was debating on whether or not I actually wanted to do this video, but I feel like it needs to be done. The state of MyFaction in 2K is pathetic. I think I've mentioned it in live streams and other videos I've done, but this year the lack of, I don't know if it's attention to the mode or what, but it's been really weird. It's been basically like 2 months. No, came out in March, so it's about three, I'd say, 3 months now since the game released, and it has somehow progressively gotten worse. So I guess the first thing we'll start off is, since I'm on it right now, the live events. The difficulty of a lot of these live events have left players basically saying, that's it, I'm done. Like, a lot of these aren't as bad as what many would think, but for some of these, it's like impossible. Like, these are some of the like most difficult ones I've had an issue with. I haven't done any of this yet, which I probably will, because it's a fairly easy one and it doesn't have any kind of card requirement. These ones weren't too bad. I just finished this one, so I've unlocked the Sapphire Cody Rhodes. This was against a Diamond Kevin Owens, which wasn't bad. It was an Emerald against a Diamond. That's not bad. I know with the Cena stuff last month. Was it last month? No, last month was Rollins. It was April. Back in April. With the John Cena. John Cena breaks Sami Zayn. The Rey Mysterio one, I don't know if anybody had difficulty with, but I know the Cena breaks Zayn one, the ambulance match, was extremely difficult. I know it was for me, but it mostly was because I got away from the button mashing mini game and just went to the hold down the buttons. And I think I should have just stayed on the button mashing, and that would have probably gotten it done a lot quicker. And then, the next match was a gold card against a pink diamond, and then it was an emerald against Galaxy Opal, where basically if either one hits their finisher, that the match is pretty well done. It was kind of pathetic and expecting a lot from players. It should not be that difficult to get cards. It's just, I'm sorry, but people don't have not everybody is, your next makers. And I'm going to mention that probably a couple of times in this video. These ones here weren't too bad. These ones here were actually fairly easy and quick to run through. Yeah, I don't know what it is with this one, but for some reason it shows you that the reward is the Sapphire Cody Rhodes. It's not. This one will probably be a Sapphire against a Pink Diamond. And this one will probably be a Ruby against Galaxy Opal. But it's not like it's not too far off as far as the tiers. And I'm just guessing that this is Pink Diamond and this is the Galaxy because of what Kevin Owens was. I think because Nakamura was also an Amethyst. So it kind of makes sense to go Amethyst, Diamond, Pink Diamond, Galaxy Opal. Same as with the John Cena ones. The Seth Rollins ones weren't as difficult as this, as the John Cena ones, and these ones aren't too bad either. This one might be a bit difficult because there's no HUD, there's no reversal prompts that'll show, and it's a cage match, and you're basically, you know, the damage is increased and you have no vitality shield, while he does 25% more damage with light attacks. So you know he's going to be spamming light attacks because he can do more damage. This one here shouldn't be too bad. This is a falls count anywhere. So probably the strategy will be to use weapons. And you have unlimited finishers, which are great. Heavy attacks do 25% less damage. He starts with a signature, but it won't matter if he has unlimited finishers. And then, that takes us over now to the 3 main game modes outside of live events. World Tour got updated, but only three new states in the US. There's no Japan, there's no UK. There's nothing's been updated, and this is the replacement for Proving Grounds. At least with Proving Grounds, it gave you 4 or 5 chapters to start with to run through before they updated it. Faction Wars. Faction Wars is pretty much the same as last year. A lot of the returning factions, but they have not updated it yet. It is June 8th that this video is probably going to be recorded and uploaded. There's no updates, no new rotating cards, no new bosses. I've been really conservative with my tickets as well. I probably haven't been grinding as much as I should to get all those cards. Weekly towers, I don't really have anything to complain about with the weekly towers. This is being updated constantly every Monday. Multiplay, I never touch. And then that brings us to probably the worst part this year is the packs. So the token market is pretty much the exact same price point as last year. 100 for Ruby, 50 for Sapphire, and I think it was 25 for Emerald. And this will probably be 125, if not 150. This will probably be 200, and so on. I forget what Galaxy Opal was last year because I don't think I ever unlocked it. Card market. The prices have gone down for cards in the card market, so it's not too bad. One thing that bugged me about 2K24, and it's repeated in 2K25, is the Superstar ones, the Superstar cards. They are randomly thrown into packs, which should not be a thing. I remember 2K23 and 2K22, these Superstar cards, they were individual packs that you could buy if you wanted them. I think they were fairly cheap too. I don't know why they don't do that. I don't know why they didn't do that last year, and especially this year when the odds are increased greatly, and the prices on the packs as well. 30,000 MFP for one deluxe Punches and Promos and the Sinister. Demastered was pretty close to this, but it wasn't. I think a basic for Demastered was like 11 something. And I think a deluxe was like 15. They stopped doing the 20-pack boxes, which MFP and virtual currency wise, it made sense. The odds are increased. I mean, the oddity cards this year are a lot are a lot easier to get because they just pop up randomly. And I mean, like when you look at what cards are in the pack, like these should not be in the packs. These kind of cards should not be being thrown into the packs. They should be sold separately like they were in 22 and 23. I know this is a small gripe, but if I'm spending 30,000 MFP on a deluxe pack, I want Punches and Promos cards in that pack. Or if I'm spending 256,000 VC or 285,000 MFP on a 10-pack deluxe, I want all Punches and Promos. Now I will say with the Punches and Promos this year, the odds of this is a repeat of last year. This is the first repeat that they've had. I mean, you could technically say WrestleMania is a repeat, but you should technically be getting pay-per-view themed cards anyway. The Demastered is kind of a redo as well. But I mean, if you're spending this much on a 10-pack, you should get Punches and Promos cards, and that's it. Maybe an oddity card thrown into a pack, but it's absolutely insane that we're getting these randomized cards that you can easily buy from the token market thrown into packs. And on top of that, like, you spend money on a card like this, you don't get that card. Like this one here, the Superstar Super Pack. I bought all of this. I don't have that Damian Priest. It shows it thankfully showed up in my collection level that, yeah, I got it. But I don't actually have that card I can use. And the fact as well that they're putting a lot of their Persona cards, like for example the Alexa Bliss in Sinister, behind essentially a paywall, is a bit insane. And that's the updated one for her 20. I believe it is the same gear she wore at the Rumble when she returned. And then the same goes with then the John Cena. The heel John Cena. Hidden behind a paywall. When it's an updated version of John Cena. Like, it is absolutely insane. There needs to be an overhaul on MyFaction. And again, I get that I'm not one of these next makers, so my voice probably is just going to go echo out into nothing. It's just the state of this mode, and I've seen it with other content creators where they're just so disheartened, and they don't want to put time into a mode where there's not going to be the bane for their buck. There's not going to be something to keep them playing, to keep them wanting to spend the hours to grind the MFP so they can get the packs. I unfortunately don't have, an extra $500 lying around. Because I don't make money off of my content like a lot of others. I'm not one of the quote-unquote whales that 2K is clearly targeting. But I mean, it's getting to the point where a lot of people are saying, well, I'm not going to worry about making content for this mode. And it's bad enough that they have absolutely nerfed these badges all to hell. Like, they nerfed the... this one I haven't seen. Like, there's some of these badges I haven't seen. Like, Sting Like a Bee got nerfed. Rabble Rouser got nerfed. Like, there's so much of the badges that have been nerfed that we would use to grind. I've had to look on YouTube for a way to grind MFP. So I've actually created basically using the exact same cards he did, and I'm gonna go into do one of the matches and see how much I can get out of it. It's like 25 seconds, and you get 600 and something per match, 600 and something MFP per match. And it only takes like 25 seconds to do. So it's like you're making, a couple thousand like a minute, or every couple minutes. So like there needs to be something that is done, and it needs to be addressed, because I understand with the next gen consoles, the island is a big thing. But they're not even bothering updating the island enough. With every DLC, it looks like they're updating a new chapter of the island. The issue with that is how many people are playing the online in the island. Like, I'd be interested to know, like, how many people are actually playing this on consoles. Like, between MyFaction and the island, how many people at one time, let's say per hour, are playing either MyFaction or the island? I'd love to know that. Probably not as many as what 2K would want. So I think for 2K26, they need to bring back Proving Grounds. They need to bring back the old way of doing faction wars, and really start listening to the majority, because the minority of the people that they listen to are probably their next makers, and how many of them are making MyFaction content. No, they're playing GM mode, and they're doing Universe mode, and they're doing My Rise, and maybe the island. But they're not doing, they're not doing the MyFaction runs. They're not doing the faction wars grinding like I do. So, anyways, this is just my take on it. I don't know how many other people feel the same way, but 2K needs to do better. They really do. I do like, though, and I will say, I hope they continue to do this, but with the birthday bash events, including tokens, including your token shop tokens. Like, that is 75, 125, all right there, all through these. And I've done all of this. and I spent some tokens on a token shop card. I think Nia Jax, and like these ones here had tokens in them as well. I haven't done this one. I don't know if I will though, but they need to, I think, have matches where you have tokens. I might do this one again just to get the Faction Wars tickets and the demastered, because I just have Charlotte left, and then I get the Ruby Kurt Angle, which I'll probably never use, but it's still good to have that card because it goes towards the collection level. But they have to, I think, also these ones were kind of broken. That was not a bonus pack. That wasn't a bonus pack. That wasn't a bonus pack. That wasn't one either. I got the reward, but I couldn't redeem it. I actually didn't, and it says redeemed, but I actually didn't get that reward because it was broken. So I think for 2K26, there needs to be an overhaul, and they need to maybe ask people who aren't their next makers and their whales and say, hey, what would you like to see? Because those are the ones that are actually putting the time into MyFaction. Those are the ones that are not, that are the ones that you should be trying to appeal to. But they probably never will, so again, screaming into the abyss, telling 2K to fix shit. Hopefully later this week we will get an update on Faction Wars. They have already announced that the WrestleMania 41 DLC, that if you pre-ordered, it was you would get it. They have announced that is coming. So you'll get the WrestleMania 41 arena, and then there should be, like, I think 2 or 3 Persona cards coming as well. That will probably have a couple of people with the WrestleMania 41 gear. I'm hoping we get Lyra. I just loved her entrance at WrestleMania, and I think it would look really cool. We still have to get the Kurt Angle 2000, which is going to be oddity cards. So there'll be a section on oddity cards for that. So, but I've already talked for quite a while. I will be streaming this week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, and we'll see what we could do. I'll probably go back to the island when I stream 2K25, which I believe is Saturday. Yeah, I think it is Saturday. But I will catch you all later. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace out.